Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be taking a first look at a upcoming game that I've been quite excited about and made it on my most anticipated list of 2018, and that game is We, the Revolution. It is a game that's being developed by Polyslash, and it's a game that puts you in the shoes of a justice in France during the French Revolution. This is the height of the French Revolution, Robespierre is in charge, and you have to navigate the complex political waters of revolutionary France while trying to extend your own power, and also, at the same time, looking out for your family and your loved ones. Presumably, this game will make you make key decisions around who you support, who you oppose. Will you be willing to allow a just man to die in order to protect your family? What about to strengthen your own position? Are they the same thing? Are they different? That's the kind of choices that I'm hoping to see out of this game, and is a very interesting concept. You can see there, I'm assuming that's the head of justice cut off there with the scales and the gavel sort of in the corner there, trampling over the French flag. This is an upcoming game that will launch on March 21st of this year, so in just a couple of weeks. The game that you're going to be seeing in front of you today is a beta build, so it is not a launch version of the game. This may change. It is not finished. There may be bugs and other things like that. I was able to get a preview copy through the Strategy Wargamer, or Jean Marciniak. He had an interview with the developers for the Single Malt Strategy podcast, which you will probably see on the podcast in the coming days. Unfortunately, I could not make the interview. I'm really excited about this game. So let's go ahead and jump in. I don't know, they're saying this is a beta build. They're also saying it's a demo. I don't know if it has intros, transitions, or anything like that. As we kind of jump in here and start the game, we can see that it immediately jumps to day 4, so I don't know if there's going to be flashbacks. It says it's Act 1, Liberté is the name of the act. So I don't really know how this puts you in the context of whatever, but it appears that we're in a courtroom. So we're in the courtroom. You can see here on the right we have Anton de Tinville. Good morning, Citizen Fidel, so I'm assuming that's my name. My name is Anton Quentin Farouk. I'm going to be terrible at pronunciations in this game, guys. I should probably just not even try. I'm bad at pronunciations, let alone French ones. And I'm now the public prosecutor who will from now on accompany you during the tribunal proceedings, okay? I must warn you that I'm uncompromising, but I think we will find common ground soon enough. I also bear some more good news. They just finished constructing the guillotine. Starting today, it is available. Oh, joy. Yes, we've seen it. Raymond Devoy. I don't know who he is. Okay, so the game is telling me that I need to manage and arrange my documents. I can sort documents by dropping and dragging them around, or I can read them to click and open them. Okay. There are multiple options in the interface of the game, so there's a quick access to key game elements. There's an options screen that looks like a gear. There's a notebook where you review details, information about your actions and events, and there's influence points that are gained, the main currency in the game. Be careful not to anger the common folk or the jury. Questioning the defendant will stir the impatience of the audience. Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. So, if we constantly ask questions to the defendant to try and get more information, the common folk will lose their patience. If we disagree with the jury on what they want to do and what we decide to do, it could lead to unfortunate consequences. So justice is not necessarily our primary concern. There's this icon here that represents heat, defines how animated the audience is. A high level of heat may cause random effects that I have no influence over. And so this is presumably to sort of reflect the sort of life of the revolution, if you will. And there's a report. After signing the verdict, the prosecutor will review a report. If he does not owe any favors and you made mistakes, they could lead to you being removed from office, okay? I don't know why the prosecutor knows if there's mistakes. All right, so I'm assuming this guy is the defendant. Please introduce myself. Professor Hugo Trotter, former lecturer at the now-closed Sorbonne, a true university from before the Revolution. Explain why I assaulted the man. We're both lexigraphers. However, I have been working on my text for over 15 years while he's a bungler, which is a word for someone who makes mistakes due to their incompetence. Yes, I understand that. This is a victim, as you call him, is an ignoramus, a thief. He rewrote dozens of entries from my dictionary and then bluntly denied doing so in front of the witnesses. Report this to the guard. I paid them a visit, but they showed nothing but complete disregard, which is a word for... Yes, I know what disregard means. Okay, so this guy apparently beat up someone who was plagiarizing his dictionary. We can see there's some basic information on the screen. First off, the jury's off here to the left. We don't know what the jury's verdict is. We do know that the populace's expected sentence is acquittal. The common folk and the revolutionaries both agree that they would prefer an acquittal in this case. There is an option for prison or death penalty, but they both seem to prefer acquittal. Meanwhile, the people are anxious. Their heat level is sort of in the medium. This is the prosecutor on the left, prosecutor on the right, jury on the left. We've got our verdict form, which is, I'm assuming, where I actually make my selection. I don't want to do that yet. Judge's report, jury is neutral. Prosecutor is hostile to the defendant. Risk of being removed from office is somewhat low. If we go all the way to the right here, I'm assuming we'd be removed from office. The risk of a death... Wait, what? Choose a verdict to see the influence in the faction. Risk of death is much higher than from the common folk. Okay, so the revolutionaries would remove me from office. The common folks would murder me. That's good to know. Very much French Revolution, I suppose. We have a report here. This is a document that tells us issues, tells us information about the report, and a summary. So contains dialogue or trial summaries. Fill out the report to make information gathered during the trial, and after the trial you can understand what the effect of the verdict has on the faction. So essentially there's information here we can fill out, and then we can commence the trial. And then, let's see, there's a notebook, which details relations, reputation, and influence. Reputation impacts everything in the game world. Influence is basically my ability to use my influence to influence, I guess, the trials or the voice of the populace or whatever. And then relations. Negative relations with factions can have disastrous consequences like riots, while positive relations help keep the trouble at bay. Okay, understood. So you can see here right now our reputation is 5, and sort of in the middle. Our relations with the common folk are medium. Our relations with the revolutionaries are low. Global modifiers, there's a rat plague. Paris is overrun with rats that are spreading an unpleasant skin disease. People are angry and the productivity is decreased. Common folk endorsement, -2. Influence, -1. Death penalty, we've done 0 trials, so no death penalties, prisons, or acquittals. No events here, still Act 1, Day 4. Then there's different characters here. We haven't met all of them. So it just gives us different information about different characters in the game. So, for example, Maximilian de Robespierre, owing to his passion and devotion of the revolutionary cause, he is widely referred to as the Incorruptible, as leader of the radical Jacobins. He preserves order in the National Convention with an iron fist and, if need be, terror. Ultimately, the most powerful man in Paris in the age of the Revolution. As yet, none have dared to defy him. So he's probably the protagonist that is currently in charge of France. Anyway, back to the trial. Let's take a look here. So let's read the case file. This gives us some information. We can drag and drop to arrange the pages. We can find keywords that are hidden in the text on new lines of inquiry. And we can link unlocked leads. To unlock, questioning link. Okay. So here is the case file. Late in the evening, in one of the dark alleys near the Pantheon, a National Guard patrol stopped a fight between 2 elegant men. When the soldiers approached the attackers, they saw that one of them, elderly and gray-bearded, was standing over his fallen opponent, shouting angrily and kicking him. 3 strong soldiers were involved in detaining the brawlers, and they were forced to use their rifle butts. The 2 ragged and bleeding men were taken to the nearest station, where the officers there judged by their breath that neither of them had been drinking wine on that evening. Breathe into my mouth or into my nose, so I can smell if you've been drinking. The aggressor was immediately interrogated, but he would only babble incomprehensibly. The lieutenant was able to note down only 2 words: dictionary and plagiarism. When later asked to repeat his statement, the gray-bearded man said that he was robbed. The beaten man is named is Leonard Pomeroy. He is alive, but he will not be able to talk to the people for some time due to a broken jaw. Okay, so we've already heard from the defendant that he beat the guy up essentially for plagiarism was what he told us. So if we highlight this name, a fight, we get this little icon over here. And it looks like there's multiple different pieces of text that we can do that in. So we can just kind of click through the rest of the document. And I think this unlocks different sort of cues or information here that we can use to uncover what happened in the trial. Okay, so now we can go to lines of inquiry in the case. Link lines of inquiry to unlock questions to ask the defendant. So find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. The game will help you choose by reducing the possibilities. How? Click on the first line of the inquiry and then select one which you wish to link it with. You can only make one incorrect match with a given line of inquiry. Any subsequent mistake will block it permanently. Okay. So it's kind of like one of those like mix and match games. So let's see. I don't know, are these related? All right, those two are related. So the theft and the dictionary are related. Those are apparently related. Incorrect link there. Like, how do I know if these are... How do I know if they're... Okay. So I don't understand how I know... It doesn't seem to give me any hints as far as which are the correct questions, but it does look like I uncovered all the questions. All right, so we have 3 questions. 2 of them will influence the jury's opinion toward execution and 1 toward acquittal. So, what did let's ask a question because we know the populace wants to acquit. Let's ask the question for acquittal. So, Pomeroy copied the entire S section from the dictionary into his own book. How can I be so sure? You need look but the entry Satyrian, an alloy consisting of copper, zinc, and gold used by ancient Romans to produce coins. What does that prove? It was a hoax, which means a falsehood, deliberately pretending to be a truth. There was no such thing as a Satyrian. I made it up so that I should know if someone ever... So he added false words to his dictionary. In the event that someone should copy him, he would know that he was robbed. Are you not misleading your own readers? Of course not. Nobody would ever look for an entry I made up. I guess that's kind of true. I have 2 more questions for the defendant. But the jury's opinion is acquittal. The populace's opinion is they want an acquittal. I don't know if I want to ask any more questions. Let's see here. Did the defendant confess to the crime? Yes. Was his act counter-revolutionary in nature? No. Did the witness confirm the charges? I don't know. I mean, can't speak. Why did the defendant attack the victim? Because of plagiarism? What did the defender want from the victim? I have no idea. We haven't determined that yet. What was his excuse for the assault? Well, it wasn't a misunderstanding. I don't think it was provocative behavior. It was probably a crime of passion. So I think the only question we have is what did he want from the victim? Let's ask one more question. The investigator mentioned that both of you had blood on your clothes, but at the moment of your arrest, Citizen Pomeroy was not trying to defend himself. It was a brawl, blah, blah. I know what a brawl is. Of course, but I knocked him down. The walking failure that he is, he should have done the same to me. Exactly. I demanded... Oh, so he just wanted an apology. Surely he started it. Now he talks nonsense about a fight. He started it. Stealing from me. Oh, fuck. Now the jury wants to lock him up. Well, let's ask one more question then. Looks like the jury's getting a little more impatient, or the populace is getting a little more impatient. Okay, so he's confirming it was a crime passionnel. He admitted it. Great. So they really want him to go to prison. The people want him acquitted. So at least we know that he wants an apology. But I don't know if he wants it printed in the newspaper. I'm not sure about that. Alright, so it just gives us all the answers that he already said. So I guess we need to make a verdict now. The jury wants a imprisonment. If we agree to imprison him, the likelihood of our death from the common folk and the revolutionaries go down. If we acquit him, that goes up. So apparently the people, despite the fact that it says up here they want an acquittal, is actually happier if we put him in prison. They're even happier if we kill him. Oh boy. I don't know if I want to execute anyone yet, so we'll just go with prison. We'll go ahead and sign. And we'll sign that. For the assault on Citizen Pomeroy, I sentence you to prison. Guard, lead the condemned out. Justice prevails. Serves him right, that fat Silverno Wobblebottom. Alright, I guess the people ended up embracing the imprisonment sentence. I got 5 out of 6. What did he want? No information pertaining to the case. Well, he did ask for an apology, I thought. Anyway, it was a good enough result. So you can see we get +2 influence points. We can get +3 rep... Oh, do I have to pick one of these? Common folk and revolutionaries... maybe they like me less? Or is that the likelihood of them killing me is less? I'm not sure. Whispers can be heard from the jury that his said Brule, the commander-in-chief of the guards, has a fight with Robespierre concerning the scope of his power. I think you should look into this, considering your rule begins where theirs ends. Okay. Conflicts and intrigues. Hierarchy. Familiarize yourself with the balance of power in Paris. Choose your side and stand by your choice. Fight against a specific person and give your all in order to win. Choose a side. Each side has something to offer. If you miss the start of the conflict, you may not get another chance to participate. Follow the events to take action in opportune moments to increase your chance of success. Each character has a major weakness that you can uncover by spending influence points. This knowledge will pay off during conflicts when you will have a choice to correct the countering action against your adversary. So there's a conflict between Robespierre and Burel. You can see here, this is our... Okay, so this looks, and this is kind of what I was hoping, but it looks like the kind of game where our goal is to work our way up the chain of command, potentially to even replace Robespierre. Maybe. I'm hoping, but this is our character, Fidel. So we're going to go ahead and select the conflict between Robespierre and Burel. Burel is on our level, but we can't unseat Robespierre for now. So I think what we will do is we will support Robespierre. Robespierre wants to fill the position of Commandant-in-Chief with one of his lackeys. We do not know who that is, but if Burel is dismissed, we can be sure that his successor will be faithful dog to the incorruptible. -2, so we can choose to... Okay, so we have different options for how we want to support Robespierre. We can criticize members of the political salon, we can criticize the views of the Café Proscopeep, or we can deliver a critical speech during the convention session. We lose 5 influence points, 3 and 2. If we go with forceful, we, same thing, send a revolutionary patrol, sabotage income source, intimidate your enemy's associate. Or we can go with covert options, which we can start gossip. Wow, those are... we'll just criticize members of the political salon. We'll go quiet with that. And you can see here the chance of Robespierre winning the conflict goes up slightly. So we can also criticize views in the Café Proscopeep. I'm assuming that's a newspaper. We can't deliver a speech because we've already spent, I think, most of our points. But you can see Robespierre is at a 60% chance to win the conflict now. So this is an ongoing dispute. I don't know what I actually spent those points on. I didn't see my reputation score. Hope you chose widely. Our heads may depend on it. I'm pretty sure Robespierre's not going to be around, or he's going to be around for a while. The official. Due to the creation of a new institution, it is necessary to design an official seal of the tribunal. I was advised to seek your opinion as the president of the tribunal is indisposed. How much did he drink? Oh, this appears to be our wife over here. He was not able to specify. How much did you drink? I don't know. I only had one. All right. So we can choose a new base. I kind of like the 3 dots on each side. Top decoration. I don't really like any of those. I don't like any of those decorations. They are not anything that suits me. I guess we'll go with like the olive branch thingy. Emblem. A rooster. A snake. Ooh, an axe. Justice. Flag. Key. Justice is blind. Vive la France. And on the bottom, I'm assuming these are the same as on the top, so we'll keep it consistent. Or maybe they're not the same as on the top. Alright, well, whatever, I don't really care. Alright, okay, so there's our new seal. We'll go ahead and exit out of here. And now what? Control over Paris. Okay. This is a map of Paris. The view shows the map of revolutionary Paris divided into districts. So each one of these icons is a district. It can be controlled by me, an enemy, or neutral. Riot blocks agents except your bruiser and stop you from gaining influence points from the district. So if there's a riot in the district, that's bad. And reports. To view information about important events, click the report icon. Okay. Unlocking a district. Your agent must first unlock a district before you can take it over. Each district you take over increases the daily influence point pool by 1. Enemy agents may try to sabotage your districts. Protect them. To relocate your agent, simply click and drag them into a chosen district. Click an agent and choose undertake an action they should undertake. They can combat enemy agents. They can control a riot. The bruiser is not held up by rats and can help endangered allies. Okay. Disrupted or district upgrades. Take over a district and maximize its influence over it and improve faction relations with a jury or a faction specific to a given district. So some of these districts over here on the right appear to be locked. They're blue. I'm assuming those are like Robespierre. We've got some rioting in the northern portion of Paris up here. And then we have some districts. This one belongs to the common folk, revolutionaries. It's a free space, common folk. So, Raphael Clovis, he's our bruiser, and Jacques Louis David is our agent. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop him into this unoccupied territory. And we're going to try and increase my influence over the district. Okay. And then I'm going to, can I move my bruiser can't do anything there, so maybe we should actually move my bruiser into, can he do anything here? No? What about here? My bruiser can't do anything. Why did it just freeze? Oh no, I broke the game. Whoops. Never mind, didn't break the game. Got out of it. Woo! Alright, my bruiser can't really seem to do anything. I can move him into a district with a riot, right? I can't do anything with him there. So he's okay, so he just automatically is going to try and fight the riots by moving him here. Okay, so this is currently our district. And, oh wait, no, we've got some influence here. Let's move this guy to this adjacent district to the west. And district fully upgraded. All right, let's try and gain the faction endorsement. So if we can gain this faction, then we may have 2 districts here in France and increase our control. You can see up here we have 2 districts in our current control. It's my headquarters, revolutionaries, common folk. I'm confused. How do I have 2 districts? It doesn't really show me. Maybe I already possess this. It is my color. Doesn't really tell me, though. But we're trying to gain their endorsement. Okay, so we'll do that. We don't know who the other characters we're fighting against right now. It's day 4 of the revolution. Let's go ahead and jump forward to the next activity. All right, we're moving forward to day 5 in Act 1 of Liberté. And Mathieu Burrell. Tragically, we're losing control of the streets. People feel betrayed by the king, and some believe him to be a spy, trying to elude justice. Wait, this is the guy we're fighting against. He's our rival. Special means are recommended when suppressing unrest. We only need an opinion from the judges to make sure we are working legally. Burrell. He's the guy we don't like. In other words, you need their blessing to shoot at protesters. People can't control their emotions and are hurting other citizens as a result. Look at the windows. Next time they might do something worse than just throw rocks. So apparently it is on me to make a political decision. I need to understand if I'm willing to see the unrest in the streets of Paris grow greater. Chief Burrell has informed us that the guard is no longer able to control the situation through peaceful means. It is recommended that he be allowed to use more immediate methods to protect the innocent civilians, but we would like to know the tribunal's opinion on the matter. I can either choose to approve the National Guard's use of force against the ruffians, ruining the capital, or not. Now, as you remember, Burrell is our rival. We are supporting Robespierre, so if we give Burrell the tools he needs to put down the riots, then that weakens our own position because we're supporting his rival. If, on the other hand, we reject Burrell's claim to bring order and peace and justice to Paris, then that will weaken his standing because as Paris descends into further chaos, the leader of the National Guard will have been unable to restore the situation and bring order. Furthermore, the common folk and the peasants will be pleased with me for not ordering their deaths. So I think, and sorry for this weird accent, guys, I'm kind of getting into the game. I think our best course of action is to reject this. If I was purely playing as a law and order candidate, interested in the best situation for France, it would probably be better to put down the rioting. But again, we're supporting Robespierre, who is the rival of Burrell. And if Burrell is the rival of Robespierre, and we're supporting Robespierre, then Burrell is our enemy. And opposing his use of force here should, I believe, weaken Burrell's position. So we will reject it. The authorities should not use force against its own civilians. If it has to, it has already lost. I do not approve this decree. And I will sign. And now I get to use my new little stamp with the French flag. Oh, a little cool little pouring some hot wax in there and putting a little stamp on it. How cute. Without this document, we can only wait for the citizens of Paris to start killing each other before our very eyes. I hope you know what you are doing. The convention may have issued that decree, but I have no doubt it was Robespierre's idea. Okay, but Robespierre is his enemy. Why would Robespierre be opposed to me opposing his enemy? All right, everybody, I think we're about to go into our next trial. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and sign off and end this video. It's been close to about 30 minutes. This is our first look. It's a sneak peek at We the Revolution, an upcoming game being developed by Polyslash. The game comes out on March 21st, so in just a couple of weeks, and it puts you in the shoes, as you can tell here, of a judge during the French Revolution. It's really a unique and novel idea. I think there's a lot of interesting pieces to this game. It's going to probably be more of a cerebral and backstabbing kind of a game, and less of an action-oriented game. May not make for the best streaming, I'm not sure, but it is pretty enjoyable so far. I'm obviously just just learning and kind of figuring out some of the mechanics of the game, but it seems to be pretty adequately leading us along and giving us some hints and helping us understand how the game works. And, this kind of political intrigue is something interesting, obviously set in a historical setting in France. So, yeah, there's a lot to like and a lot to be excited about with this game. And I know I, for one, am curious what the final version of this will look like when it comes out in a couple of weeks. But we'll probably do at least one more video here looking at sort of a sneak peek of this game. So let me know your thoughts below. Do you want to see more of this? Is this a game that looks interesting to you? Or is this something that you'd like to take a pass on? My historian in me, my historical enthusiast, is really excited about this. But, to each their own. Anyway, guys, leave me your thoughts below. And until next time, I will catch you guys later. This is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.